Hello everyone and welcome back to Planet Coaster, and I'm your host today, Wolfen Vic. Wow, I think I say that every time. Anyway, today we're actually going to be taking a nice good glance at, well, episode 4 of Planet Coaster, which is essentially, well, catching up. We're still catching up. Last time we finished this River Rapids ride, so today I believe we're going to be doing a lot of detailing, theming, and on-ride cameras, I believe. Anyway, let's get started into the fast forward, and I'll catch you up as we go. And the races are on. So at the moment, we're going about 700%. This is about my normal speed. But very quickly, I've realized I had to actually speed this up again. So starting at about now, we are now up to 1,200%. Yeah, we're going fast. So, at the moment, you're actually watching me try and add on and maybe get closer to completion with my coal mine. I really like this building, and I really kind of just wanted to get through some of the harder bits of it and get looking more and more like a coal mine and less like this weird half-finished building out here. Kind of giving the area a bit more theming. I kind of still want to get back to it and do a whole lot more out here. I feel like the abandoned theme needs more. And I feel like just we need another attraction over here. I feel like the roller coaster goes through too quickly for this building, and there's not enough on the building itself. I'm actually highly tempted to possibly build a ride up through it itself, the building. I'm not sure. We'll see. I've also got a lot of other things on my plate now, and this section of the park kind of gets left alone for maybe about an episode or so. Yeah, look at this. I'm adding in more tracks, making it more like a yard. Looks pretty cool at night. Looks very imposing in the moonlight. Not excited to light it. Not entirely excited to attempt to try and figure that entire headache out, but maybe someday I'll get there. Ah, and here's the kind of crowning achievement of this building is the top building, actually. This is probably where I only have a vague understanding of coal mines, having lived in West Virginia and having seen quite a few hundred while living there. I believe there's a coal shaft that goes straight up, and it can jump it down a chute. I'm not sure. I I've lived in West Virginia. I've seen hundreds of them. Doesn't mean I understand how they work. Still, I kind of understand how they look. And a lot of the ones I used to see would have these giant towers on top of hills and would have a like chute that would lead down to a coal tipple or a place where they would put the coal, like a pile. I would also see a lot of those like chained. Oh, essentially here I realized that there was a gap and that I couldn't fix because of the fact you can't rotate the triangles upside down. So I just filled it in with my own boards. Kind of gave it a neat little look, and I kind of made it a little bit individualized. So it's all kind of its own board. It's not repeating. It's its own type of thing there. I think it looks really cool. I think it fits. I wish it hadn't had to happen like that, but I'm kind of okay with it now. I've kind of come to terms with it. And here we are back in the main city again. I kind of had some issues with the train. You may notice there's a giant crowd here. So one of the issues is I had to, as you see me experimenting now, learn how to balance the time between people getting on and the people getting off. One of the things I didn't realize early on in this game is you can't just do the roller coaster type of thing and say full load and have like 3 seconds. You actually have to allow the trains to have time to have people get off and get on. If they don't have time for people to get off, then by the time people are to get on, it'll just leave without anyone on. Because It thinks they've had plenty of time. What they don't realize is the train has been sitting there for people to just get off. It's a headache. It's frustrating. Um, I saw other YouTubers deal with it, and they never fixed it to my knowledge. I kind of got frustrated, so I stopped watching. I should probably go back and finish watching them to see if they ever finally figured it out. The giant saga of watching YouTubers melt down over silly things. Welcome to the internet and our worldwide culture. Also decided to try and finish up the station with adding in a bit more detail. Kind of figured luggage would be a good thing for the city because it kind of fits in with its city themes. This is a big passenger station. And I figured since we're not actually using the platform across the way near the water tower, it'd be a good place to have luggage. Alright. And now we're back to the side of the park. But first, let's watch the sunset. Alright, enough of that. So, Street Fox Coffee. Remember that building that I built that I lost the footage for? Alright, here is some footage of me actually trying to light up the place inside. I realized it was kind of dark inside, so I tried to figure out ways to light it up. And the little lights I wanted to use don't actually cast light. I feel like that's a glitch, but Planet Coaster, they haven't fixed it yet. It's like nobody has tried to use them and figured out that they don't cast light. It it bothers me a tiny bit because those are really nice lights and I want to use them, but I can't because they don't cast light. It's frustrating. So I put these lights in. They're kind of like artistic, point downy lights. Ugh, it's okay. Here's me still trying to figure out the silly train issue. Not a lot of people are getting on it anymore. And what you're seeing right now is actually me going through some various already in-game and a few custom objects to kind of figure out what type of style I think would fit over here. This is the steampunk part of the park, if you remember that. I kind of wanted to just figure out how people were building their kind of Victorian era looking buildings. And to finish off this day, I decided to plant some trees, kind of give this area a nice little foresty look and kind of get it fully fleshed out and connected. If anything, it makes it look kind of a bit better in the day, a little bit more foresty. Kind of makes it blend in with the rest of the park a bit more. Now, after this, we're going to have some interesting developments. Time gets a bit more sped up again. But first, let's have a nice relaxing break with something slower. And we're off. This one's literally just sped up to about 1,000%. So, today we're doing everything from touching up rocks to building buildings to... Oh, there's so much that we have to do. But this is actually probably... I believe it's the last time lapse before I settle in for what's going to be the rest of our video. So, you may have noticed, if you've already looked down to the description, that there's a bit of more information than normal. Those little times right there are actually very necessary. They are skip points if you want. Essentially, the rest of this video after this is going to be ride videos. For a few of them, I kind of kept it to one camera each, but for a few other, to keep it a bit more interesting, I've attempted to try and record with multiple camera views to kind of see what it would look like as well as blend it in. I'm very curious to see how it does. As you can see, here's me working with the steampunk area, working with the factory once more, trying to get the queue line and everything there fixed. It's so hard, so finicky. Ah, it's frustrating, but at the same time, so rewarding, but frustrating. But anyway, yeah, like I was mentioning, I'm very curious about what I'm trying right now with the video editing for this series. I still have a few more things I'd like to try. Um, I feel like this is a learning series. I feel like we're learning a lot of stuff as we go. And together, you and I will come out with a much better video at the end. Uh, Maybe it'll be a continuation, maybe not, who knows. Either way, I'm very excited about these ride videos because I feel like the attractions themselves are very fun rides. I would enjoy riding them myself, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. I I think I would. Then again, I'm not sure. It's one of those things of I want the ride to be finished. I want the full theming to be done, and these rides are not fully done. The theming's not fully there yet, so maybe someday it fully will be there, but not yet. Speaking of fully theming, here I am slowly building up the brick warehouse around the Revolutions ride. This was a hard one to figure out because I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to do it in brick. I thought originally I wanted to do it in wood, and I kind of realized with how big the ride is and how many stories it is, you kind of just have to stick with brick. And it's kind of the thing I've learned with the steampunk area is it's going to be a lot of brick. Brick and then mixtures of other materials. It's kind of frustrating because it's kind of not what I want. But at the same time, it's kind of what looks right, and that's what I'm going to go for at the end of the day. I will say the steel roofs look very cool. And the windows, you can see in them, and they're really nice. I mean, the guests can't see through them. But me, as the camera guy in the sky, I can see in through and see the ride moving inside. It's kind of cool. You'll see it sometimes in these videos. Ah, yes. Also, for the top little part here, I've kind of made a weird, it's something that I've seen in factories. I don't know what they're called. They kind of have like this extra roof above with little outlets for like smoke and other airborne chemicals. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I'm making this up a little bit, but it's something I've seen on a lot of warehouses and factories and stuff like that. It looks nice. It looks really nice. This entire building looks really nice. I really want to finally someday get in there and theme the interior. Maybe do like concrete floors and like build up an entire thing of like these like metal railings and stuff. Maybe add second or third layers and have an office or various other things you would see. I might just play Assassin's Creed Syndicate or something to try and get some inspiration for like warehouses like that. Something like that. Now we're back to the main town. Not too much to do here. Just trying out some things with the station to see if I can get a look for it. Just trying to figure out what looks good, what doesn't look right, what works with the stucco look. And I don't remember where I originally saw this, but this wood and stucco look, not bad. It's not bad. It kind of fits all right with this little town. I kind of like it. All right, now we're back to planting trees. Just giving more life to this area, kind of making it blend in more with that out distance area as well as the roller coaster in the area around it. Just kind of trying to get everything looking about the same, so that everything doesn't like clash. My, look at this forest. Just look at it. It blends so well and it looks so far. Ah, there's the water rapids ride. Here, what I'm doing is I'm doing this for when I go back to actually theme the ride. I'm simply just placing lanterns at the top and bottom of the ramps of the river rapids. So the top of the chain, the bottom of the chain, so that I can figure out where the top and bottom is, and also for when I'm riding it to kind of be able to see where those are. It also is a good way to get an idea of how far it is between each when actually riding it. it's not bad. It's kind of an interesting thing. Then again, in this video, it probably looks like it's a lot of darkness to you. Also, this kind of was an accident that happened that I kind of just left. I accidentally reached up and realized I'm right underneath the train trestle. You know what? We're going to keep that. It actually makes a really cool scene for you on the river rapids because you look up and there's the trestle. It's just right there above you. Train, you can't actually see down that far. I actually tried when I rode it once and I looked over and I was like, ugh, the guests won't actually be able to see that normally. Which is sad, but at the same time means it's more of a thing for the river rapids in them. And now we're on to a kind of a repair. I was having issues with the shops there at the front. I found out that guests can't actually buy anything from them. So to fix that, I've actually moved the entrance up a little bit more to these little paths in the front. So they go through those and then they come up to the entry ticket booth things. And they can buy their normal fast passes and memento stuff there. So it kind of looks a little odd. Doesn't look too bad. I wish I could have kept it the way I did, but the game didn't like that and kept closing those stalls. Now at least the stalls stay open. Alright, and that's the end of that. So let's get started with our first on-ride camera. You may remember this roller coaster, but now you're going to get to ride it. Enjoy. Oh, and by the way, before you leave, just so you know, if you decide you do wish to skip ahead, don't be afraid. In the description, as I mentioned, will be various time links to when the ride is over and when the next one starts. Well, not when it's over, but when the next one starts. So you can just go, oh, I want to ride this, I want to ride this, I want to ride this, if you so wish. Or you could just watch it all at once. Now I'm yammering as the train's leaving the station. Quite sorry about that. Hope you enjoy the ride. And as we pull into the final station, if you've been with me this entire time, thank you. Seriously, thank you. If you've just skipped ahead to this point, still, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and till next time, this is Wolfen Vic, signing off.
Nasıl her şey? Of course, I grab. Và tôi em mua mà. Door Nasıl her şey? Of course, I grab.
Ja, ileže. Sada
Nasıl her şey? Of course, I grab.
No, non vuole. Le vuole. La duro, mamma. La mona on the gave. Uma reflection system. Stable jogo. La duro, mamma.
Nasıl her şey? UFO mushroom. Says they're good.
Oma reflect shows you some.
Limon.
Oma, meinst du?
Says they're
Oma say you.
Sei por ela.
Limon.
Ja, hilarious.
Ramona Oma gave. La duva
Casou um cara.
Papa Papa is also. Oma must be alive.